I've generally found that when I sculpt, it comes out easier for me. It's a little bit easier, it's a little bit more like the thing I see in my head, I can execute that and it comes about 95% of what I saw in my head. Painting is always a fist fight. It's like, I always feel like I'm wrestling with it, I'm trying to get it to look like I want. Once in a while, I'll get that great painting that kind of paints itself. I definitely feel like sculpture comes easy for me. I think the thing I find that works for me with sculpture is there's something about the dimension. Like when I see the 3D object in my head, it's like I can almost turn it around in my head and know what I want it to look like. And also the fact that I'm holding it in my hands and able to like look at each side. And I think sometimes with painting for me, the biggest problem I have with that is that when it comes to light, like I want there to be 3 light sources, but I'm absolutely imagining 3 light sources. And I know that some artists, painters will use, they'll build a physical 3D model and light it, you know. There's lots of guys who will actually have the light model working for them. I don't know if I'm that patient. When I've sculpted 3D vinyl toys, sometimes the artist will just give me one 2-dimensional image, or I'll have one of their well-known works that's in 2 dimensions. And it's easy for me to look at that and then again extrapolate all sides of what it is, and of course with their approval. But most of the time, maybe that part of my imagination is a little more developed than the color and lighting part. When I make a lot of the robots that I make and things like that, I always like the idea of have a drawing or something and then you can make the physical thing. But then I always think I'm making miniature versions of these robot dragons and pirates and stuff. And so one of the ideas I thought of, wouldn't it be cool, would there be a way to make one of these as big as it's supposed to be in the real world? And so when I came up with the idea for the Revenge Bot, that was the idea, how can I execute this in the real world? I sculpted it out of a 3-pound density sculpting foam. And it was amazing because you can go pretty big with that stuff, but it still had to have a welded steel frame in there to hold it all together. And the way I thought of it was just think of a big Tinker Toy / model kit erector set where I'm going to the hardware store, I'm getting PVC pipe, I'm getting fittings that look right, and then I'm sculpting everything else, every claw, every rivet, coating it with, it's basically an acrylic paint infused with iron. You spray it with copper oxide and it actually rusts. So the texture, a lot of people say, how'd you do the texture? And it's like, it's real rust, and that's why it looks so awesome.